Alert. The enemy has taken our intelligence.
Doctor!
Hello everyone, Tebrith here, and welcome to week 37 of my journey to learning TF2. I know it's been a while since my last episode, but I'm back now, and I've been practicing my spy quite a bit since the last time. So today I'm gonna go through the 3 loadouts I've developed for spy. And yes, I know what I said 2 episodes ago, but with the injury and hiatus, changes needed to be made to the upload plan. Speaking of which, there will not be a play-by-play match at the end. While I do not regret doing so last time, I plan on saving such a practice for a later series, and with that, let's get into what the 3 loadouts are. First up, we have the mobile ambush. As I'm sure you all remember, the loadout, Diamondback, Big Earner, Stock Invis Watch, and Sapper. Since I've already gone over this once before, I won't linger on it, but basically the strategy is very similar to that of Stock Spy. Use the Invis to get in and out of the fray, the gun when in combat, capitalizing on any crits you may have stored in the meanwhile, and the Big Earner to make quick chain stabs or getaways after making a play. This loadout strategy is a bit aggressive, sure, but it works for me at least, and it's fairly simple to follow. Moving on, we have the Spectral Assassin, consisting of the L'Étranger for a boost to cloak, the Your Eternal Reward for almost silent backstabs, and the Cloak and Dagger to have maximum control over when you decloak. The strategy behind this loadout is much slower and methodical than the mobile ambush, with the general idea being to prevent the enemy from ever knowing you're there and minimize your presence on the battlefield without lowering your overall effectiveness for your contributions to the team. Also, it's really fun to just go invisible and either watch the chaos unfold or use voice commands to drive hostile engineers insane. And finally, we have the Militant Operative, also known as the Gun Spy, consisting of the Ambassador, Spysicle, and a Dead Ringer that I nicknamed Death is Stupid, which, for those not in the know, is a scout voice line, something I did years ago after watching a Pymations animation. Anyway, this loadout is easily the least stealthy of all the loadouts, leaning far more into the combat aspect than the stealth aspect, using the Ambassador to provide assistance to the combat classes to your team, picking off low HP enemies while the fighting happens, using the Spysicle primarily for the afterburn immunity should a pyro show up, which is almost all the time, although there's nothing really stopping you from making ice statues if the opportunity presents itself, and since you'll be actively partaking in the main fighting, using the Dead Ringer as a means to escape when it's time to leave is very handy. Also, I'm sure some of you noticed by now that I always use the Sapper and never the red tape recorder. And that's because while I do understand that the red tape has its niche uses, more often than not I find myself just using the stock Sapper in all 3 of these loadouts. And that's about it. I want to thank everyone for being patient with me over this surprise hiatus. Your support definitely means a lot to me, and while this video marks the Spy Month for real this time, especially since we're now in December and I don't want this series to bleed over into 2026, do not concern yourself. I do have ideas for series to perform next year, and while I will be taking a break from TF2 for a while after Spy Month is over due to the fact that I practically spent an entire year in this game, burnout is real, you have my word that I will come back to it eventually. This game has become one of my favorites, and I don't see a world where I ever truly give up on it permanently. And with that, I do hope you all have a wonderful remainder of your day.